All right, hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Alex, and this is the Stock Operator Channel Sunday Scan. We're going to go through some stocks to look for this week and see if anything's actionable. I mean, the market's getting hit right now, so we'll see, and we'll go through the strategy to find these things. So if that's something you're into, stick around. All right. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at the S&P 500, ticker symbol SPY. And yeah, on Friday, it looks like we got hit pretty hard. But let's take a look at the stage analysis on the weekly time frame. So I always like to start here and just look at where the SPY is in terms of the stage analysis. And it looks like my colors are SPY is going into stage 4A with this light red color. So what I want to do if I'm trying to go long, if I'm trying to buy the dip, or even if I'm like trying to go short, I mean, not in this portfolio, I'm not trying to go short, so I'll be looking to go long. I'm trying to look for stocks that are stronger or like the S&P 500. So what I did previous to this video was I looked at stocks that are in stage 3, which would be this yellow. I wouldn't want to look for stocks that are in stage 2 and stocks that are in stage 2B because they're not really following the market like that much. We just want a little bit of relative strength. We don't want things that are too strong that haven't been hit yet. So yeah, let's before we dig into the stocks that I found, let's just check out some of the industry groups and see what's strong and what's weak and what's looking good or needs some help. So communication services, actually, longer term doesn't look so bad. It just looks like a little cup and handle here. So just something to keep in mind. Communication services are looking pretty good. Financial services look pretty extended here. Been in an uptrend for a long time. Utilities just breaking out. Not as strong as financials, but doesn't look too bad. Energy, this thing's been going sideways for a long time. If we're going into a recession or something, you don't want to be in energy. I've tried this thing many times. It just doesn't seem like it wants to break out of this massive 20-year base. But it still looks okay. But I don't see a lot of stocks that are in the energy sector on my scans. Okay, moving on. Consumer defensive. Same thing. Kind of looks like financials is a little more choppy. Could work. Real estate, it's building a nice little cup and handle, and there are some stocks in the real estate sector that are looking pretty good. Consumer cyclical, this thing has been going up as well. It's kind of testing this breakout here, and this significant bar right there, so it could work too. Healthcare, this doesn't look as good. It's a lot weaker than the other ones. Industrials, same thing. Doesn't look so good, and it already had broken out in 2023, and it held up really well in 2022. It's not that's telling you perhaps the market's going to get hit here. Basic materials, similar story, just didn't really do anything for the last 4 years. Even with gold at all-time highs, and it's, I don't know, could work. And technology, just could back test this thing here. So that's what we're going at. Okay, so let's dig into the stocks. There's 34 of them, so we'll try to go quick. But I saw this Cheesecake Factory, and let's dig in. So what I was looking for when I'm looking at these stocks is I'm looking for this volume spike. So a lot of these stocks had this volume spike, as you can see here, which is actually pretty bearish. So I wanted to go through this with you guys on which stocks I would actually take out of this initial list. And this is one of these stocks that I would probably take out of this list. So yeah, here we go. Now, this Waters, this is a healthcare stock. Now, healthcare as the sector, as we just talked about, was not doing so hot. But I would actually keep this one in. There's no big volume spike over here on the right side. It looks okay. So we'll come back to that one. Expedia, same thing, but we're testing this significant bar right here. And they tried and failed. So this is another one I would take off. Comerica Bank, I was looking at this one on a shorter term. It's testing this big significant drop. And it wasn't able, it was a little bit able to overcome. So I'd keep this one on there. Boeing looks like it's, building out a longer term base. I like this one. This one doesn't look so bad. It is in the industrial sector, which was kind of gonna come, didn't look so good, but this is not a bad spot. Trimble Inc. technology stock. Yeah, I would have to take a deeper look. So let's take a deeper look on this one on the daily. It is getting hit really hard with the market. It did bounce though with the market, and it bounced a little bit stronger. It got all the way back. So if we compare this to the QQQ, yeah. So it has been stronger. So this is something I'd keep on the list. Okay, now let's go back to our weekly. So CDE, this is a gold miner. Now there's a lot of volume that came in here, but it came in on the downside. You see here. This is kind of what you look for. This is kind of a Wyckoff setup where it's building a base. It's showing some strength. It takes a big hit on heavy volume, but then it V's. So this volume is actually good. And if this thing could get going, that'd be great. I'm going to keep that one on there. Masi, this is a medical device company. I think it has something to do with the, Apple, or, Apple Watch was taking some of its technology and it won a case, and now the stock has been going up from there. No significant volume. If we go to the daily, it's been holding up really well, hasn't broken down. Maybe this week it does break down, but it gives us an opportunity to get in for a V here. So that's something that could potentially work. That's a decent one. Going back, this is a real estate stock that broke out, and it's just in an uptrend. So no significant volume here. Actually, a little bit right there. Yeah, so a little bit significant. And then we had some ease of movement, so I would take this one off. Okay, now what do I mean by that? So right here, we have this significant bar on good volume, okay? Now look, we have a bar in the same spot, and it was able to move more with less volume. So that's a red flag. This is a similar stock. It didn't get hit. It's basically the same chart, okay? But actually, you see, if you look at the tiny little volume difference, more people came in here to buy the dip on this JLL. Yeah, then, that's a very interesting, if you compare the both of them. JLL was leading it in the run up. But this little spot right here is actually CBRE is leading. That's very interesting. Yeah, CBRE is actually leading. Yeah. So let's take back CBRE. Even with that, kind of ease of movement, yeah, I would keep it. Snowflake, it's still in this long base. I still think that, if maybe the market has a little bit more downside, if it does go to the downside a little bit more, it's going to find support here, right? And I would like to, this is like a top one. I'd like to get into this. Affirm, similar story. No significant volume here. It's looking okay. Roblox, same thing. We were talking about these ones. These all look pretty good, They haven't made new lows. Toast looks good. Rivian, this is an interesting one. Let's go to the daily on this. So this has kind of bucked the entire trend. Something that I notice a lot in a lot of these stocks is like when you see this big volume spike, and then the next day it does the same amount on less volume, but it's kind of stopping here halfway. This could work. Yeah, this could really work. Okay, grab. I think I took this one. Yeah, this one just looks fine. I mean, there is a lot of volume coming in here, which is suspect. But it was breaking out of a long base when that happened, but it's very suspect. Everybody probably who's in the space sold and sold more. So it is suspect, but it could really, you know, it had a chance to go down here, you know, when it broke, because all these guys from this point onward had a chance to really take it down, but it failed. So if it does come back, it's going to fail really hard. But you have a nice line in the sand right there. Okay, that's a decent one. Warner Brothers. They came in here with a lot of volume. They could have sold it down here. They didn't. And if you notice from this bar to this bar, there's a pickup in volume with shortening of spread. So there's some people with limit orders in there. This looks good. Net. This is pretty climactic. I don't like this. Chewy. You know, this thing's been pretty strong. So this still looks good. CrowdStrike doesn't look so bad. Yeah, it's still in a nice spot. A shake out here. But there was a lot of selling going in right here. So it's kind of just going nowhere. That's okay. Futu. This is an Asian investment stock. This is suspect here, which is why it's kind of stopped. The action has just been dead, but it could work. It's not so bad. This BE, I've been watching it for a long time. Yeah, it could work. It's not in a bad spot, but this candle is, you know, unfortunate. You know, these guys who sold it here, they couldn't get back into the gap of the candle, and it's just been selling off. And if we look at it compared to the QQQ, it's just kind of led it down, and it didn't. So I would take this one off. Okay. Wyndham. Yeah, I put this on here just because as it's like kind of coming back here, and lodging was a really hot sector for a little while, but I would take this one. VNet, this is something you want to watch. This is a really explosive Chinese name, similar to KC. Something to watch, because this thing 10x'd. Yeah, this thing 800%. So you want to watch these. DocuSign looks the best out of everything. You know, if we look at this, it's been holding up really well. It went up real good during the rally of this. So I think this DocuSign could be one of the best ones. It had this climactic gap, and a bunch of people bought in. They're trying to shake these people out. Yeah, if it comes back to around 80, so I'm looking at Docu and Snow at the moment. Okay, so that's really something nice. And then Roku, it's a little bit more random, so maybe we can take this one off. And then Twilio looks pretty nice. There's not that much volume here. Okay, performance. Foods. Yeah, similar kind of a dip here. I'd take this one off. And then Zillow. Yeah, Zillow looks okay. And then Paylocity. Not too much. Okay, yeah. And then this one looks okay. LI Auto. Yeah, this has been in a base for a long time. This thing could go. Similar to XPEP. Yeah. Okay. Beely is another Chinese name. Still stronger. It looks good. Not too much volume in here. Yeah, it did kind of fail this back test, so it could, you know, you want to watch it, but let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, it could just back test down to 18, excuse me, again, but I'll be watching it. Hammer Sports, this is like a IPO. Yeah, I don't know what this company does. I would just, so that's it. So then, yeah, I could remove a couple. So remove the okay. So then you got a list of 24 stocks. So we got a Firm, Boeing, Beely, CBRE, CDE, Chewy, Comerica, DocuSign, Futu, Grab, LI, Mossy, Paylocity, Roblox, Rivian, Snow, SoFi, Toast, Trimble, Twilio, VNet, Waters, Warner Brothers, Zillow, and that's it. And then one actually I would add in here that I actually purchased midday, and then it had this volume spike and it, you know, took back. So this is like looking like a little head and shoulders here. So it's unfortunate it's not working out. But longer term, you know, actually if I go here, okay, if I go here in longer term, it's kind of like one of these stocks that's at the lows, like similar to Casey right here. You know, so maybe it does a little undercut. But it looks like it could work. I think this stock is associated with Baidu, and that's the reason why it's underperforming. We just need Baidu to start going. Unfortunately, Baidu's not been as explosive as Baba. I think it has something to do with the CEO of Baidu is not in favor with the government, because there was some meeting where forgot the guy's name, who's the leader of Baba, is you know, at the meeting, and the Baidu CEO was not. So we'll see. All right, so that's oh, and then before I forget, yeah, one thing I do like to look at a lot is if we look up here, monthly anchored VWAPs, and also share outstanding. These are really good indicators. You know, potential, you know, explosion. Like, as you can see, Baba, like this whole time they've been buying back shares, and I bet you if I look at Baidu, you see they weren't buying back as many shares, and that's probably the reason why the Baba went up. I mean, that's basically the reason, because Baba was buying back shares, and Baidu was not, as you can see here. So that's something I really like looking at. And if you look, you know, going into these companies, let's see, which company was buying back shares. So CBRE was buying back a lot of shares, if we see here. And then it led to a nice move in the stock. I had been trading this one earlier, and there was a price target about 122 here. Let's see, CDE, no buying back shares. Just look at Chewy. So Chewy's buying back a lot of shares. So this one looks pretty decent. Comerica previously has bought back a lot of shares. Let's see. Yeah, Doku looks like they're just starting to buy back shares. Futu has stopped printing shares. Grab is still printing shares. Let's see here. So this Paylocity Holdings is starting to buy back shares right there. And as you can see, the share price is responding to that. Roblox is still printing shares. Rivian. So Snowflake is starting to buy back shares. That's good. That's good. It's good to know. SoFi, no. Toast, no. So, you know, over the last 10 years, this Trimble had been buying back shares. Earnings had a nice little pop here. So yeah, this is another good looking one. Fundamentally, VNet, nothing here. Warner Brothers has been buying back shares. Zillow, yeah, and that's it. So, you know, you look at these things, you look at some of the share buybacks, and it's predictive of explosion. All right, so that's the Sunday scan. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. And I make these videos, you know, every day or every 2 days. You know, just trying to provide some cool information for you guys. All right, have a good one. See you later.